What's the move, y'all? It's your boy D Smooth, and we got day two, not uno. We got day two of Dallas Cowboys Training Camp. So we finna see exactly what's been going on with training camp. Like I said, it's only day two. With latest update on Trayvon Diggs with his injury, his recovery. The latest update on the Marvin Overshawn. The latest update is Paw Jones gonna pay Micah Parsons and get him taken care of. Is he even participating in practice because he's in Oxnard, California right now where they at? Yeah, I don't think he's practicing a whole lot. And then we also finna get on how good looking this offense is, because this offense is looking steak finger looking good right now. Then the defense got to come on along with it. Then we're going to take a deep dive into the running game. How is the running game going to look? Because we already know how our offense is going to look. But how good is this running game going to be? First of all, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications. So let's go on and get to it. As y'all see early on the clip they keep playing on behind me, you see the Jonathan Mingo making a really good pass. It was a little bit bad pass. I believe that was Dak, or I believe that was Joe Milton who threw that pass. I'm going to click on it to see. But that was a decent catch that he typical. That was Dak Prescott that threw that. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all know I'm not really much of a Dak guy. I'm not. No offense to Dak. Dak a good overall dude. But as far as him just throwing the football, nah, not a fan of it. Oh, I'm sorry. I take that back. I'm sorry. That was Joe Milton who threw that. Milton could have did a little bit better throwing that football, because instead, Mingo had to come back and get it. But instead, you throw it over the top and you drop it in the bucket, he can just go run to the home. Nice pass, but understand it's a huge difference from this to this. This coming back to get it, and then me just having it right here. You drop it in the bucket, and I'm going away to the home because I already beat the DB. Instead, you're literally giving the DB a shot to break that pass up. But that's still, regardless, they connected on the pass in practice. But I'm pretty sure when Milton goes into that film room and he even go back and watch it, he's gonna know that he should have gave Mingo a better pass. But that was a good pass catch by Mingo. I want to see a lot more Jonathan Mingo clips. I want to see if he's going to take that next step, because they did give up a fourth round pick for the dude. So I got to see how this turns out. Now, as we're going to go up a little bit more, and I don't give a damn about no commercials. Now, this one, you're going to see a lot of this upcoming year. I believe you're going to see plays of CeeDee Lamb, even Kevontae Turpin, and George Pickens, basically giving them screen passes. Just give the ball to them in space, put some guys in front of them, and let's see what they can do. As I see my boys CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, he got some type of bomb grenade celebration. Hell, we're gonna see how it's gonna be. But as we go to the play right here, let me click on it. I'm finna go back a little bit on it. So as you can see right here, and I need a better angle. Okay, here we go. Okay, you see right here, Dak Prescott quickly gives the ball to CD, and now what you see guys in front of him. Now, there's a few guys that could have made that play on CD, but you got to remember, it's no padded practice. All they got is a helmet, and they're just, they just practice getting continuity, getting comfortable, and also just getting a rhythm, because last year, CeeDee Lamb wasn't doing none of this, and this offense was completely different, and they're damn sure with no George Pickens on the field. So I believe CeeDee Lamb is going to have an excellent year this year, but just seeing plays like this where you're able to get CeeDee Lamb, give him the ball, and you see a bunch of you see about 2 or 3 offensive linemen, you see a receiver like either Pickens or Jalen Tolbert out on the outside, because that was Tolbert on the outside, and on the other side of the field, it was George Pickens. So you do want to see, as you see Pickens block on the end, you do want to see them give the ball, because I still believe CeeDee Lamb is the best playmaker, not just on this offense, on this team. He is the most explosive player we have on this team. Whenever it was a big play needed, CeeDee Lamb was there. So I still believe he is our best playmaker on our team. So it's still important to give him the ball in space. Give him the ball with some guys in front of him and let it go make some moves and go block. Because CeeDee Lamb ain't no weak-ass dude now. He does not go down with just one guy. He's going to fight for every single yard. He's not as big as Dez Bryant was, when Dez Bryant, 6'1", 6'2", by 215, 220. But CeeDee Lamb's about a guy, kind of about the same size, about 6'1", maybe 6'1.5", maybe 6'2", about 210, 215. But he is not no weak dude. He's a guy that it's going to be hard to bring down on the field. Pause. So that's something I love to see from this offense. And also another thing with this offense too that I do want to see a lot more of, and I think you're going to see more of as far as a Cowboy fan, you're going to see a lot of pre-snap motion. I said this in day one. Pre-snap motion, basically what that does is, instead of just lining up, say, for instance, lining up CD in the slot and then he doesn't move anywhere else, or just line him up on the outside and he doesn't move anywhere else. That's not going to happen. You're going to see a lot of pre-snap motion where CD's going to start off on the outside, then he's going to go to the other side of the field. He's going to start off on the outside. He's not going to just go to his slot where the slant is on the right. He's going to go on the way to the other slot side on the left. So he could be on the same side with a George Pickens, the same side with a Kevontae Turpin, the same side with a Jonathan Mingo or Jalen Tolbert. He could start off on the same side with Kevontae Turpin either on the slot. But you know what? I'm finna be emotional, so I'm finna go on the same side where George Pickens at. You just don't know how this is gonna be, and I do love the fact that we're seeing motion. I've seen emotion in the fullback. I've seen motion with CD. I do want to see a little bit of George Pickens in motion. But like I said, this is day 2 of training camp. We're going to see a lot more as the season goes along, as we get into the season, because like I said, pre-motion snap, a lot of teams are running it, and you might as well just adapt to it and get ready for it. Mike McNachos, Mike McNuggets, Mike McFlurry, however the hell you want to say it, he wasn't going with it, so his ass had to go. But I believe this offense is going to take a big leap for this team next year, and this is something that I want to see. As you see, who is this? Another pick six. We ain't even finna get into that. George Pickens, getting the ball, kind of seeing what he can do, trying to hit him with a little hezzy. Donovan Wilson wasn't going for it. But the biggest question to me, and I want to see if this comes up, is the Dallas Cowboys running game. As you see, Dak Prescott, he finds, Big Ferg is going to be a very sneaky, underrated guy for this team. To me, as far as Dak Prescott, as I click on this video here so y'all can see just one more time. Jay Ferguson, low-key, should be the number 3 target for this team, and I'm going to explain why. CeeDee Lamb, we all know, top 3 wide receiver in the game. We know he gonna get his targets. He gonna get his looks. George Pickens is going to be the number 2 option. Jay Ferguson should be the number 3. Not Jalen Tolbert, not Jonathan Mingo at the receiver position. Jay Ferguson should be the number 3 target on this team because he's the one that can elevate this offense. You're already going to have your number 1 and your 1A on the same field. You got to have your number 1 tight end dominate because the middle of the field is going to be wide open. Because with Pickens and CD, you got to have two high safeties because both of them can hit your head over the top. And we all know that George Pickens he's a type of receiver that has excellent body control. We've seen him make spectacular one-hand catches. So, and Dak Prescott is going to throw the ball down the field. That one thing Dak will do, Dak will test you. He will test your best DB or your second or third best DB. He will test you. Some of his interceptions did come when he didn't look the safety off, and the safety was eyeing him down. But he should learn that by now. But the fact that we're going to have 2 high safeties, and Jay Ferguson, I'm taking him against a linebacker. I'm damn sure taking him against a 3rd or 4th DB on the team. I'm taking that. Because are you going to double CD? You'd be a damn fool if you did. Because that means George Pickens is going to eat on the side. Because obviously your double coverage, one safety literally has to cover on that side of the field where CD is. But when you have CD Lamb in motion, you can't just double him out here. And then Jay Ferguson, like I said, he has to eat. I can see Jay Ferguson. There could potentially be 3 guys on this team that have over 1,000 yards. CD, of course. George Pickens, hopefully he stays healthy, because I see him going for about 70-something catches, 70 to 80 catches, 11 to 1,300 yards, maybe double-digit touchdowns. I say at high 11, maybe lowest 8. And then Jay Ferguson, as a guy who can see 70 catches, probably like 1,000, 1,100 yards, maybe 6 to 8 touchdowns. I can see that for Jay Ferguson. This offense has weapons now. Because Jay Ferguson is very underrated, and I think this is the year I expect him to take that next step, take this offense to the next step. And on top of that, he's in a contract year. Every time you're in a contract year, guys play better, guys perform, excel on what you thought they was going to do, and then it's going to time to get paid. But I still love Big Jay Ferguson. I love his attitude. I just love it, his grit. I love the way he gets open. He got some wiggle room. To me, he's the best tight end we've had since Jason Witten. That's no disrespect to Dalton Schultz. That's no disrespect to I forgot. It's just all these other tight ends that we've had. As you see, Joe Milton with a black field, and that I think the quarterback room. I think the fact that does not look at Joe Milton as a quarterback competition. He looks at a guy that's younger than him, and he looks at a guy that has extreme talent because Milton does have a lot of talent. And I believe, Dak is kind of taking him under his wing because who knows, Milton may not be our starting quarterback of the future. He may not. He may end up going to another team and excelling. So Dak is an overall really good dude. So I think that they're gonna. Let's look at this. I know this is something that's just small. The body control of these guys. We have 2 of the best receivers that have excellent body control, and I love this right here. This little stuff that they're working on, little drills that they're working on. This type of stuff here, how they make their spectacular catches. Off of this right here. You got to practice this. Practice makes perfect. Now, there's some times now where they're just overall just skill level just takes over with the spectacular catches. But sometimes you have to practice spectacular catches. You have to practice the eye control, where the ball is coming from, catching with one hand. You got to catch some of this stuff. Basically, especially on that sideline where it's going to be tight coverage. And both feet got to touch the ground on them tippy toes. And you got to be able to make spectacular catches. And that's, to me, this is one of the hardest catches right here when you're running and the ball is like this and it's coming. Because originally you don't see the ball. You know what's coming, but you don't see it. Especially with a helmet, because there's only so much vision you can see inside of the helmet. If you ain't never put a football helmet on, trust me, there's only so many vision you can see. So the fact you doing this, because the ball is gonna come. So you're looking and your eye tracking the ball. Then at some point, the quarterback, if he did a bad throw or if he's overthrowing you, literally coming like this, and you have to put your head like this and then just put your hands out. So just practicing drills like this is stuff that I love to see, and that's why I say I'm just gonna say the official stats right now. And this is off the top of my head. CeeDee Lamb gonna get about 90 to about a little over 100 catches. That's easy. He gonna get about at least 90. That's minimum. He stays healthy, he gonna get about 90 to over 100 catches. George Pickens gonna get about 70 to 80. Like I told y'all, he gonna get about 1,100 to 1,300 yards. We could have both receivers go for double-digit touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb's going to get double-digit touchdowns. George Pickens, he get double-digit touchdowns. This offense is going to put a lot of points on the board. Combined with Big J Ferguson, oh, yeah. Oh, just Lord have mercy. The question is just a running game. That is a major question. As you see, Brian Schottenheimer, and speaking of him, there was a little scuffle at practice now today, and he was not happy about it. He was not thrilled. One thing about it, though, he's creating a team atmosphere with this team, and I love to see it. But he's not going for it. He's not going for the fighting. And he basically said straight up, the next guy that fights gets thrown out of practice. Straight up. And he said it just like that. The next guy that gets thrown out of practice gets, you know what I'm saying, they out of there. And also another thing, too. So, like I said, another update on Trayvon Diggs. He's getting better. Obviously, getting ready to return at some point during the season. I don't expect him back in week 1. I don't expect him back in week 2. I do expect him back maybe about week 3 or week 4. But other than that, I don't really see Trayvon Diggs being back for this team. Expect him to miss about the first 2 weeks of the season. As far as the Marvin Overshawn, don't look for him to be back by Thanksgiving. After that nasty ass knee injury he had, because remember y'all, this is the second time now he's tore his ACL. Now this is the second time. This ain't the first time, because he tore it his rookie year, and then he tore it again just last year. Now last year was only his second year, so this is his third year in the NFL. So like I said, hopefully it turns out well. We finna go because I need some more footage, because I do want y'all to see something real quick. I want y'all to see how this running back room is looking, because little do y'all know, we got Miles Sanders on the roster. We got Javonte Williams on the roster. There's guys on this roster that are vets that are fighting for a spot. So this is going to be a really competitive running back room. And speaking of that running back room, I'm really interested to know is how are we going to hit certain teams over the top? Because remember, y'all, when we have an elite passing game, then because I believe our running game is mid. I believe it's average. So in order for us to really be that offense and be one of the top offenses in the game, the running back got to come along with it. So the fact that we're going to have 2 single high safeties, because I believe if you're gonna try to stop the Dallas Cowboys passing attack, you better have 2 single high safeties. If not, we're going to bust you over the head over the top. Pause. But our running game does need to get better. Our running game will get better, and our running game will get better because the offensive line will get better. I believe the offensive line will have a decent start into the season with all the Tylers that we got on the team on our offensive line. I believe Godwin will be better. We all know about Tyler Smith, so we got the team full of Smiths. That's what we got. It's just the biggest question is, Lord have mercy, Terrence Steele. But as you see, you know what I'm saying, it's another light crowd, you know what I'm saying, watch the situation go into the weekend. It was like this last year. A lot of Cowboy fans are not supporting this team in training camp because we all know how this stuff is. Now, like I said, this is stuff I was thinking about. And this is the second day in a row that we've had a scuffle. The Cowboys have fight for a second straight game after practice. We got to be professionals. That was from our head coach, Brian Schottenheimer, and he is not going with it. If you fighting, you getting your ass kicked out. And that would have been a certain type of mood killer in practice. Let's be honest, man. Nobody want to get kicked out of practice. They don't. Nobody wants to get kicked out of practice. But you can tell guys is antsy. Guys are ready to get back to football. They're ready to get back to hitting. That's why I said we need to get to put the pads back on, and we actually need to get to hitting out here. But, hey, we faced the Los Angeles Rams the first preseason game, so they have all the opportunity to get to hit, but just don't hurt yourselves out there. But, yeah, as far as just this running back room, it's good. Now we see with Micah. Micah got his helmet up. Micah, I don't really see him doing a whole lot. Micah did participate in the Cowboys practices today, but he didn't really do a whole lot. He's just limited. He's just out there. He got his shorts on, got the helmet. Especially when eventually when the Cowboys start putting pads on, I don't see Micah putting pads on because he ain't got his money. Why would I go 100% effort in practice? Because Micah is the type of guy that goes 100% in practice, just like he goes 100% in games. But if I ain't got my bread, why am I finna go all out? Because if I end up hurting myself, then you damn sure ain't finna pay me. So no. So I support what Micah's doing. Don't give you all. And Micah said, hey, he don't take it personally. He just doesn't understand. Micah, you don't understand, but I do. Jerry likes to do this for some reason. It's a game to him. It's just fun to him. It's fun to have the Cowboys in the media. It's fun to have the Cowboys in the news. It's fun to have the Cowboys in there for the wrong reasons. It ain't about winning. So Micah, don't trip about your contract. You gonna get your bread. It's just getting on my damn nerves at this point because Micah doesn't deserve this, especially for a guy from day one who all we asked for is to just be great ever since he walked through the door, and he's been everything and more. So yeah, but overall though, as you see the Marvin Overshawn talking with Brian Schottenheimer, he can't be active while practice. He has a call sheet and he's in the hip pocket of Matt Eberflus discussing plays before and after. And I think this is good because eventually when the Marvin Overshawn does come back, he's gonna be one of the leaders of this Cowboy defense. He plays like a leader. I love his talent. I love his effort. Like he's a student of the game. He pays attention. So I believe just being around, watching the team, watching the plays, asking questions, because this is a different defense than what they've had with Mike Zimmer last year. So I believe this is something that's good for not just this defense, but also for the Marvin Overshawn, just to stay around. Now this is the fight right here that I was telling y'all about. And trust me, that looked like that was Marquise Bell that threw a punch. I could be wrong. I heard somebody say, y'all teammates. I mean, it is true. I mean, I'm not with teammates fighting in practice. I'm not. That's something that I ain't gonna put up with. I don't like that. But I love the fight. I love the grit. I mean, this is something that, hey, let's take this anger out on all other teams you played this upcoming season. All that fighting you want to do, let's take it out on this team. This is Sealand and George Shipkins, the little celebration they got going. Now y'all fools know damn well Roger Goodell gonna find the hell out of y'all if y'all do that celebration. Because the fact that you gonna have that celebration, come on now. We all know that's not gonna be okay. That's not. We all know that. But like I said, much better start for the Cowboys offense today. As you see, Miles Sanders who broke out. I thought to me, I don't see Miles Sanders ready. We finna see the Let me get to y'all one more time. Miles Sanders still got a lot of, he still got a good amount of quickness left. Still got some bursts. It's just gonna be very interesting how this gonna work out because the two running backs you drafted, one out of Texas and one out of Clemson. They questioned the one out of Clemson talking about his work ethic and stuff. But it's gonna be very interesting to see on how this is gonna work because you got Javonte Williams who they love out of camp, but you still got Miles Sanders who you got two veteran running backs. And they're both not going to make the team. You're going to keep your rookies. Deuce Vaughn is probably going to be on the practice squad, but there's no way you're bringing four running backs on the roster, especially with offensive line help, defensive line help, DBs, receiver depth, because you're only going to go into the main roster, with really Dak Prescott and another quarterback. So you're really going to have two quarterbacks. So this is going to be very interesting to see on who's going to make the roster and who's going to get cut or who's probably going to be on the practice squad. I know Deuce Vaughn going to be on the practice squad. And this is one thing I want to see. How is this offensive line, especially with this offensive line coach, how are they going to be? I'm not worried about Tyler Smith. Guiding is the one that I want to see. I want to see how he's going to go. I want to see when we're having to move and we're having to shift, and he's going up against some of the best pass rushers in the game because he's protecting Dak Prescott's blind side. So it's going to be very interesting to see. As you can see, Micah right here. That big as a got his helmet on. That big as a talent, I won't even bother. Wanna should be studied in under the top dog. Go ahead. Go ahead and get your money. Wait. You don't be going all out in practice, because you shouldn't be. I don't want you going all out in practice. Go on and get your money and wait till you get paid, and then you go. As you see Brian Schottenheimer and Paul Jones, talking, you know what I'm saying? Jerry doing what he loved to do, run his old ass mouth. And I think that's the conclusion to this video, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. How is this Dallas Cowboys team going to look? I can't wait for day 3. You're going to see a lot more vids coming as far as what the plays they run, the practices they do. Eventually, you're going to start seeing padded practices. You're going to start seeing before the Cowboys actually play the Rams in LA in preseason, because they play the Rams every year in preseason. You're going to see joint practices with them, and those practices I'm really looking forward to see as far as the physicality, how the offense is going to look, because it is going to be first string teams as far as going up against each other. We all know the Rams defense ain't no slouch. I believe they're going to take that next step and probably be a top 10 defense in the NFL. So this is going to be very interesting to see. I love the way the Cowboys offense does look. I love how the defense is looking. I do love our receivers. Come on, we aren't even finna talk get into that again. But like I said, the question mark to me is just the offensive line and the running game. Those are the question marks. Question marks a little bit on defense, but mainly on the offensive side with the running game and the offensive line. So y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Leave a comment in the comment section. Like the video. Y'all be smooth. I'll catch y'all in the next video.